Hey guys, welcome to Brother Jay's Card Finds. I'm back. Actually have a show report. I haven't been to a show in quite a long time. I don't know exactly when. Probably went to one in the beginning of April, but now we're at the end of May, and I finally got back to another card show. Actually, I was supposed to go to several. Both days this weekend involved cards. Yesterday, there was the Allentown Airport Show, and there was the Jake's Flea Market was having their comic and card sale. So I decided I was going to try to go to both of those yesterday. And first, before I got basically out of my neighborhood, I crossed the major highway here. On the other side, there's a gentleman who I know collects cards, and he does card yard sales. And he didn't advertise in any way that I saw, but I drove by, saw he was open, and I said, hey, do you have any cards? And yes, he did. So I believe I put away most of the things I did buy from him. I only spent about $6. Three of them were starting lineup figures, which I'll show them to you real quick here, because they're handy. They're not in the package, obviously. So I got a lot of these for Warren D. Yeah, they're Cleveland. I'm a fan of Cleveland as well. I mean, not as much as Warren, obviously, but we have an Albert Bell. We have a Manny Ramirez, and this is Frank Thomas, even though it doesn't say Frank Thomas. Well, it's Frank Thomas 35. So, and you all know that I'm a fan of Frank Thomas. I took all my starting lineups off my desk. I was gonna try to display them on my desk, but I just think it's kind of too cluttered as it is. Wouldn't leave room for videos. So I did buy a bunch of cards too. That was $1.50. I bought about $4.50 worth of cards. Three of that $4.50 was for a 1986 Donruss Jose Canseco rookie, the Scum Stash card, which you all know. Like I said, though, I put those cards away. I didn't know if I was going to do a video because actually things turned out different on Saturday. But I did go there and I spent that. Then I went to Jake's. I looked around the outside part of Jake's. I got there around 8 or so. The show didn't start till 9. It was in their treasure barn. And nobody really... I mean, there were people that had cards. There was a guy that actually had a bunch of cards. I think they were they 10-cent cards? No, I think they were 3 for $1. I'm not sure. I think it might have been 3 for $1. But I don't remember exactly what he had them priced at. But the thing that he said he had like what I guess was probably about a 400 count box or something like that. And he said, if you fill this, it's $20. And I was going to do it. He had quite a few good cards. I wasn't anywhere close to filling it. But what happened was the weather conspired to mess me up because it was so windy. The cards were blowing all over the place. He was on the outside. He was under the canopy they have there at Jake's. But, I mean, it's basically open to the wind. And the wind was so cold and blowing cards. And I just said the heck with it. And I looked at the cards that I had picked, and I mean, they would have been worth buying, but at that point, I think I only had 20s. And, yeah, I just didn't feel like even bothering, so I didn't say anything to him. I just put the cards back in and left. So, I mean, there was some cards that were okay. There wasn't anything that was, that I was really going to miss if I didn't buy it. By that time, it was time to go into the actual show, and I went in there, and it was overwhelming. There were just people all over the place. Not my kind of thing, even before I had some of my health issues, but really now, not. One gentleman had some cards. He had quarter box. I didn't look through any of that. It looked like the same stuff that he had last time. I bought stuff from him before. This was the same gentleman that had the golf box that I bought for $20, if you guys remember that, the 2000 Upper Deck. And he had some dollar cards. I think I have several of them out that I can show you. Let me see. There's at least 3 of the 6 things I got are available. I think the other 3 I put away. There was a Smart McGuire. This is a Star Card Set 88, unopened. It's a 12-card set. That was $1. And then there were also these two autographs. These are the Leaf Signature Series cards with the autographs, the bronze, silver. Ricky Bonace and Mike Flowers. Not world beaters, either one of them, but I figured for $1, not bad. I don't remember off the top of my head what the other cards were. So we're just going to have to leave it at that. Anyway, so I left that, and that was basically it. The one guy I normally buy a lot of dollar cards was there. He was all accommodating to me. He said, all my dollar cards are here. I'll get you a chair. And just with so many people there, I was just like, you know what? I don't even feel like doing this. There's just too many people here. I don't want to, I don't know. Like, I hadn't gotten back into the swing of card show yet. So I just went ahead and walked out of there. I was feeling a little bit tired. Got in my car and I was like, well, I guess I could try to go to Allentown Airport show. I only got as far as the outskirts of Bally, if you know the area. Bally is just on the other side of Jake's. And I said, you know what? I don't want to drive that far just for a card show that I may or may not enjoy. So I changed my mind and I didn't go. I know it's a different outlook for me, but with gas prices the way they are, I just decided, yeah, I'm going to pass on it this time. So that was the end of my day for card shows on Saturday. I came home, I sorted some of them out, put some away, like I told you. I'm already 6 minutes in this video, I've barely showed you anything. But we're going to continue with today, Sunday. I've been making a habit since I was in the hospital, worried about my health, worried about my parents at their age. I've decided I'm going to make sure I pay a visit to them at least once every week. So I usually go on the weekend and I spend a few hours with them. There was actually a card show down that way. It was in the Lionville, which is basically Exton, PA, middle school. Now, they charged $5 to get in, which I did not like, obviously. But it was either that, or if I wanted to go to a card show, I would have had to go to the Allentown Airport, because they have it the second day. I decided, because it was close to my parents, and I wouldn't have had to drive so much, I wouldn't burn up as much gas, I decided the $5 was basically offset by the gas I would have had to spend to go to Allentown, which probably would have been a lot more than $5. So I decided to go to the Lionville show and pay the $5. I went in. It was your typical show nowadays. A lot of Pokemon, probably more than half Pokemon, I would almost say. There were some sports cards. There was a few guys that had some nice vintage, but there was really one guy that had what looked to be promising bargain box stuff, and I actually spent the whole show with him. I actually spent 3 hours with him going through some boxes. So, we'll show you what I came up with. The first box he had, it was all Phillies cards. It said all Phillies cards, but it was also Eagles and Sixers, all Philadelphia teams. And they had two boxes. He offered the boxes for $50 if you wanted to buy a whole box. But I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to go through them, so I did. I guess I can show you these. There's quite a bit of them. I didn't count how many, but we'll show you them. These are all Phillies cards that I got for a dime. This is, I don't know how well you guys can see. I'm kind of far. Ryan Howard Gypsy Queen. Ryan Howard Bowman Platinum. Here's a Ryan Howard T2 Tops 206. This is an Upper Deck MLB Artifacts Ryan Howard. Bowman Heritage Ryan Howard. Fleer Ryan Howard. 2015 Ryan Howard, and a Bowman Ryan Howard. Okay, that's all the Ryan Howards. Then we have a Heritage Jimmy Rollins, 2004 Topps Jimmy Rollins. We have a 2005 Donruss Jimmy Rollins. We have a Fleer Premium Jimmy Rollins, a Bowman Jimmy Rollins, another Bowman Jimmy Rollins, a Donruss 2000 something. I can't read. I think it's 2003. It's the Team Heroes Jimmy Rollins, and 2005 Jimmy Rollins, and a Fleer Platinum Jimmy Rollins, and a 2010 Jimmy Rollins. Okay, so I got quite a few Jimmy Rollins. I would have got more Ryan Howards, but I think a lot of the ones that I had originally pulled were ones that I had. So I didn't even want to spend 10 cents on cards I already had. So now here's the Phillies McCutcheon cards I got. Andrew McCutcheon, Stadium Club, Allen and Ginter from 2019, Bowman Platinum, And this is a turkey red, which I believe was an insert into 2020 tops, I believe. I think so. All right. That's it for the McCutcheons. Again, there was a lot more of those, but most of them I felt like I already had. Here's the Cole Hamels. 2015, which I believe was the year he pitched a no-hitter for the Phillies. It was last year with the Phillies. 2007 Cole Hamels. A Fleer Cole Hamels. This is a 2009, and I don't know, it's postseason highlights, so it's not his base card, I guess. So that's the Hamels. Now, this is the stuff that's just oddball cards. So this is a Greg Jeffries medal. We got a Sir Anthony Dominguez rookie card. He's been pitching very well. Jeff Jenkins, one of my favorites from the Brewers, but he's here with the Phillies. This is a Billy Wagner chrome card, which I thought was really cool. Hall of Famer, Billy Wagner. We have a Scott Rowland, Hall of Famer. Another Scott Rowland. And another Scott Rowland. This is 98 Upper Deck, I believe. I got this one just because it's pretty cool looking. Doug Jones with the Phillies, and he's looking pretty rough in that, with that beard, but I liked it. This is the influence of the guy that used to be the Phillies guy, if you are familiar with his channel. Hopefully you are. And this is an old Philly. So this is an old turkey red, but this is not an old card by any means. But it's a Philly from a long time ago. I don't know much about him. I just know that the Phillies guy mentioned him when he was collecting he collects the older cards. So I figured, why not? Jim Thome, Prestige. Here's a Greg Jeffries Studio with the credit card thing, which I think is a cool set. Here's a Simon Musiotti Pro Debut card. I don't know if he's still in the Philly system or not. Brandon Duckworth, who pitched quite a bit for the Phillies. It's his rookie from Bowman. I love this Pat Neshek card. I know I already have it, but I don't mind having another one. It's cool. It's like the, I don't remember what his name is, but there was a player in the 70s that was with, I believe, with the Phillies as well, and he had the glasses. So, Bob Dernier, this is an O-Pee-Chee card. That's the only reason I got that. 84 O-Pee-Chee. This is a Marlon Anderson first Bowman. I assume it's actually his rookie. I'll have to look it up, I guess. Then we had a couple Pat Burrell cards. I thinned this down. I had a lot more of these pulled, but I just decided to go with the ones that I thought were kind of cool. So this is a studio. So it looks like he's outside Veterans Stadium. Topps 205 with the gold border. That's kind of cool. Here's a Fleer Platinum. Here is I don't even know what that is. Class of 2001 Donruss. It's kind of a weird one. Pat Burrell, that's a Bowman Chrome. Here's a Topps Finest, which looks chrome to me. Cracker Jack card. So that's a neat looking old retro. This is his 2009 card. This is 2008 card. And this is a Bowman Heritage with the TV set look. So that's it for the Phillies cards. Got quite a few of those. I ended up getting those for about, I believe he gave me $2. Because the other cards I'm about to show you totaled 18. And then I said, okay, I got to go through and count the 10 centers. He said, just 20. I was like, okay, that sounds good to me. So I know there was a lot more than, I guess it would have been 20 cards there. So here's the dollar cards I got. I also went through his dollar box. Spencer Torkelson, first Bowman. I had to go through and see if he'd even ever had a good year yet. I know he's kind of inconsistent, but it is his Bowman Chrome first, so I figured for $1, why not? There's an Evan Longoria. This is a Bowman Chrome rookie. This is a Juan Soto Topps Gold label with Class 2. And this is his second year card, 2019, so I thought that was a good deal. Eddie Matthews. This is a Topps Archives. Really chrome looking thing. It looks really neat. I like it. So this, I believe there was at least two of these in the box. I should have bought at least two of them because I actually believe I need this for I think this is a 1992. And I believe I need it for my 1992 Bowman set. But I would also like to have one from my Frank Thomas collection, if you know what I mean. I have a ton of these, but here's another one for $1. This is the score update. So, here's where my Brewers bias comes in. This is a refractor, which I guess is the main reason I bought it, but it was a Mark Rogers prospect. I remember Mark Rogers being very hyped when we drafted him. I don't know that if he made it to the majors, he didn't do much. But again, I do get a lot of the Brewers like that were kind of, highly touted prospects, even if they didn't make it. Here's an Ian Desmond rookie, and it's a refractor. That's the reason I bought it, because I already have his regular rookie. That's a chrome refractor. Ben Hendrickson, it's his rookie, same as the Mark Rogers, another kind of a failed pitching prospect. I know he did make it up to the Brewers. Deion Sanders, Leaf, it's considered a rookie because 1990. I need this for my Leaf set, which is why I got it. Dave Winfield, this is one of those perma-graphics cards, so $1 for that? Yes, sir, I'll take that. This is a Ryan Braun. I'm pretty sure that's a refractor. I don't think it's just a regular chrome. I didn't see refractor anywhere on the back, but I think it's a refractor. So if it's not, I'll find out, I guess. Christian Guerrero, this is one of those DC rookies, and it's numbered at a 1500. So he's another guy that was a Brewers prospect that was a bust. Here's my Carlos Gomez bias, who I really like. This is a turkey red chrome rookie card of him, and it's numbered to 1999. Okay. Jackson Churio, first Bowman, paper for $1. I'll take it. This is a Rookie Revolution Erstad from Select. And I think it's actually numbered because it has 1244. It doesn't say what it's out of, but there is a stamp on there. Ricky Weeks, Donruss Elite Extra Edition. And this is numbered 571 out of 900. I do like Ricky Weeks. And here is a Craig Biggio. And this is the totally certified. And it's out of, let's see, 1320 out of 39.99. So that was all I got from the seller at the show. Spent $20. Like I said, I spent 3 hours picking out those cards. So, I mean, I was, by that point it was noon. I wanted to go see my mom and dad. I wanted to get something to eat. So, I looked at the show a little bit more, but I basically walked out then. But, I don't know that it was worth it. I paid basically $25 for those cards. So, you got to add that $5 in for the admittance. I went over and visited my parents, and after I was there, I left there around 1:30, and I realized I needed some sleeves. So I went to Carter's Cards in Douglasville, which is a place I recommend you all to check out if you're ever in the area. And I got the Fanatics sleeves, which I'll show you. And he has these for $2 a pack, which is, I think, is a pretty good deal. So, very happy to have those. A lot of times I go to Walmart and get my sleeves, but not in this case. And then I saw Carter had a new display out. It was basically a big bookcase, and you had a lot of boxes, and they all had years on them. And I found out that they were vintage cards. He started with, I believe, 1950, and he went up to the 1980, I believe, was the newest card he had for baseball. And then he had a bunch of football ones too. I didn't bother with the football. I may eventually, but I went through the cards, and you're not going to believe all these cards that I found. Now, condition is definitely a factor in a lot of these. Some of these you're going to laugh at that I bought them, but I mean, the price was right. So here we go. I got I'm just going to go, I'm not going to go in any particular order, just what I have them stacked as. Here's a 64 Orlando Cepeda. It has tape residue, I believe, on the top and the bottom. No mark on it, but that was $1. This one you're going to get a kick out of. This is a Tony Perez rookie. However, look at all the writing on that. That's just terrible. But there's also a ton of writing on the back. So it's definitely a card with some some character to it. I figure for $1, why not? It's just kind of neat. Kind of a, talking piece. I got another Masanori Murakami, I believe his name is. He was the first Japanese player, I believe, to come over. Yeah, Murakami, there it is. And as you see, there's writing on the back, which is why it was only $1. Okay. Then we have a 65 Orlando Cepeda, and he was $1. Corner's very rough. I don't know if I actually took it out of there to look at it. There's writing on the back again. So there you go. This one kills me, but I had to have it. This is a 65 Bob Uecker with, I believe, Senator written on the front. I had to have the Bob Uecker for $1. The back is actually clean. It's just that ridiculous Senator on the front. So I do have another one of those, though. I got it because it was, just a neat little piece. Here's a Frank Robinson. I believe this is a 67. There's basically that on the back there, and there's writing on the back as well. So that was $1 again. I believe that one might even, that one even has a crease, I believe, on it. So Jim Cott for $1. This is I believe a 66. It's kind of rough there on the front. There's no writing on the back, but there's a little writing up top by his hat. And this area here is kind of rough, but same year, Luis Aparicio. Maybe, no, I don't see any. I don't believe there's any ink on that at all. I don't see it. It's just, this one I got, again, because of watching the videos of, I don't even know what his channel is called. It used to be Phillies baseball cards. He changed it to something else. He did a video about Curt Flood, and he said this card is kind of historic because Curt Flood never played for the Phillies. He got traded there. He didn't want to be a Philly, so for $1, I added it to my collection. There's a little bit of looks like a stain on the back, but it's kind of neat for $1. Here's a Louis Tiant. This is a 70. So that was $1, and that looked pretty clean, actually. So Tug McGraw 70. I've got that because, heck, that was the year after he won the World Series in '69. He didn't single-handedly do it, but I believe he was the Mets closer. Here's Joe Niekro. Phil Niekro, excuse me. So apparently I switched from the dollars to the $3. So this was $3. I don't know why I can't get it to focus. You know why I can't get it to focus? Again, because of my background. So we're going to have to do the whole box thing for the rest of the video because now it's starting to bother me. So, all right. Yes, there's a hole in that box. But hopefully it'll focus a little bit more. So there's a Joe Niekro, 67. 456. I don't think it's a high number, but, here's a 68. And this has Orlando Cepeda, Roberto Clemente, and Hank Aaron. Now, I'm sure I already have this card, but it looked very clean. And for $3, you got 3 Hall of Famers for $3. So you can't argue with that. Here's a Richie, and then we go into the $2 cards. Richie Ashburn with the Mets, which I hate to see, but there's a little ink on that. $2 for that. The Rocky Colavito 63. And it's pretty clean looking. With the Tigers of all teams. So, not with the Indians. So, Ron Santos 63. Again, it looks pretty clean. Now, this one I love for $2. And this one is actually pretty darn clean, too. I was surprised it was only $2. That's the Bob Uecker 63. So, that's the first Uecker card by himself. No ink on it. So, it's very nice. For $2, I'm going to go through and check all these cards. I'm pretty sure I'm keeping them all. Even the ones that are in the worst condition, but because I wouldn't have bought them. I did look at a lot of them in the store. Robin Roberts, again, not with the Phillies, but with the Orioles. This is a 63, $2 card. This one here I got because of Dave DeBuscher, who I believe was a basketball player more than a baseball player. But this is, I believe, this is baseball rookie, 62 rookie stars for $2. This one is a 63 Fleer, and it's Maury Wills. I don't believe he was even in the 63 set for Topps, but he was in the Fleer set, so I got that. NL Most Valuable Player, 62. I also got a Jim Cott from that year. Okay. Now, here was the first one I actually ran into when I was going through. It's 62, so it is the earliest one I got. Maris wins it in the 9th World Series, 61 World Series. There is a bit of a stain on the back. But, you know, 61 was Maris's big year, so I figured why not. I have the 62 regular Maris, but again, it's not in the greatest shape. Here is a 63, I believe, Maris Sparks Yankee Rally. There was a price tag over top of Maris. I apologize for that. I don't feel like taking it out of the top loader right now. This video is already over 25 minutes. Roger Maris, some corners missing, it looks like. Very rounded corners. But it's Roger Maris. Oh, look at the back. All the writing on there, too. $2, though. Why not? Jim Lonborg, rookie. I already have this. So I probably really didn't need to buy this. But, it's fairly clean. So for $2, why not? Bob Veal, player I like just because of the glasses. And he was a very talented pitcher. Not Hall of Fame level or anything. Speaking of Hall of Famers, though, I had this for $2. Couldn't believe it. Fergie Jenkins. Now, the corner's messed up down there. That's obvious. But otherwise, it's not. Well, there's writing on the back. So, but $2. I mean, that's a rookie. This is a really good one, too. We got 65 strikeout leaders. You got Sandy Koufax, Bob Veal, and Bob Gibson. So that's pretty good for $2. Eddie Matthews, one of the worst Eddie Matthews cards, and I believe I do already have it. I think it may be his last with the Braves. And for some reason, he doesn't even have a logo on his hat, which looks like it must have been airbrushed out, but that's his 66, yeah, 66 Eddie Matthews. Here's a 66 Jim Bunning, looks pretty good. Here's a 66 Jim Hunter, so this is his first card by himself. I believe I may already have this, but I'll take another. We got the Buck Belters for $2. Willie Stargell and Don Clendenin, Buck Belters. Here's a 66 Tiant, second year Tiant, $2. Fairly clean. Here is a 65 RBI leaders. You got Deron Johnson, Frank Robinson, and Willie Mays. So, again, not too bad. Some more leader cards coming up. 65 home run leaders. You got Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, and Billy, I believe it's Billy Williams. You can take a look. Yep, Billy Williams. Okay. We got a Joe Pepitone. I don't have any Joe Pepitone cards. I believe he was a Yankee fan's favorite, but I guess he wasn't that great of a player because he didn't end up in the Hall of Fame. But, I don't know. I always hear about Joe Pepitone, so I figured, why not? Not his rookie or anything. Here's a Fergie Jenkins 70, not 71. I don't believe I bought any 71s. Here's a 70. This is a 69 American League RBI leader. Killebrew, Boog Powell, and Reggie Jackson. Remember, these are all $2 cards. And we got this 69 ERA leaders. You got Juan Marshall, Steve Carlton, and Bob Gibson. Lastly, you have this Rod Carew, which I believe is his second-year card. I believe his first year, his rookie is in 67. And, yeah, it's worn pretty good, but, yeah, $2. So I'll take that. All right, that's the end. I had a good time. I spent a lot more at Carter's than I did at the show. But it was a good day. It's good to get back on my feet with the cards. I still have some health scares. Heart failure will do that to you, but I'm just going to take it one day at a time. Lost quite a bit of weight. And, just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. And I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Everybody subscribes. Thank you. And I hope I can do more videos soon. Thank you. Bye.